The guard trap. Hey guys, it's Drunken and Dragons, how to play D&D like a badass. You knew the routine, I don't have to say it every time. Welcome back to Room Design. We are looking at the guard trap tonight. This was the second room of the night as the characters work their way down into the Durgar mines. If you take a close look at this, your first impression is definitely like foyer entry room, and then two corridors, some spike traps and all this stuff, right? You get a really clear read on exactly what the architecture is here. You can imagine a ceiling kind of right up here. Like, it's really easy to visualize. So what? So are a lot of the rooms we do. So what's so cool about this one? Well, I'll tell you. None of these are like well-fitting, properly squared, interlocking, right angle wall and floor pieces. This is all just random chunks like this one. So this isn't a proper wall or anything like that. I mean, there are gaps everywhere, but I think the point here is you can just use a pile of really simple modular chunks and just pile them up in a way that creates a room. Creating architectural experiences for your players out of lots of small pieces, to me actually conveys better scale. And it gives you that feeling of reveal and complexity and mechanics that I think get players' brains moving. Now, just because there's like a gap right here between this little chunk and the other chunk, I don't think the players are saying, hey, yeah, can I escape through there? No, they know it's a tacit agreement that the usable space is bound by these walls. These little gaps and just using the chunks that I have laying around, not only does it give you a ton of options as the Dungeon Master to make convincing maps without a bunch of complex interlocking craziness, but it also just feels more real because there's more parts and pieces. Okay, enough. Woo! Boy, I got a little excited right there. Just like, I'm so cool the way I made it. They had just finished doing the shaft, you know, where the crane was and everything. They found their way down this winding stairway through this deep dwarven excavation. So down here, the dwarves are guarding against the entrance to the deeper portion where they're really digging up whatever the hell it is they're digging up. So you have some dwarven sculptures they've unearthed here, and there's a lot of ore in the rocks, and you only have 2 guards. This was one of the first fights where the players just rolled up and kicked ass. These guys did not stand a chance. I didn't have any spawning mechanics, no stunts, no shenanigans. They just kicked ass and they felt good about it. They did a little search over here in a pile of junk, found some books. We'll talk about that in a second. So what happened? Why all this stuff? So let's get a couple guys and I'll show you how my trap worked. So you guys have been mentioning your minis are really cool and your terrain is cool. You should show us how you're doing traps. Okay, well, I did the oldest, most boring, most simple trap I could think of. The old, when you step on it, the spikes shoot up trap. And I don't even like I don't have to tell you that's what's going to happen. Everybody walked up on these. They're sitting here. You know that if you step on that, it's going to go bang on the ceiling, right? And poke you and hurt you. That is not the clever part of the trap. The interesting part of the trap is this little gentleman right here. So as you guys know, when you see a gold painted stone like this, it is, and it's sort of freestanding, it is a dwarven magnet stone. This one in particular had a very unique behavior where it would follow weight. So if one character moved in the doorway, it would go over to here and pin them. That character is now effectively cut off from the rest of the party. But then if this character walks in and stands here, it will be drawn to that way equally. Well, why would you do that, Hankrin? What the hell are you up to with these shenanigans? What it did is it forced the group into a weight-balanced split. So before Milo Underbottom came in, for example, it was over here. So he couldn't go left. So he had to go right. So the trap mechanically, implicitly cuts the party in two. Now I know a lot of dungeon masters out there are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you gotta split the group up. Now in bad parties, they do it under their own power because like one guy wants to loot a body and the other one wants to go base jumping. But sometimes just for the subsequent room, as the dungeon master, you wanna split the party up. So give this technique a try. Set up a doorway, put some kind of mechanically moving divider stone, and use it to block off whichever side is last entered. Really simple way. So the players basically get stuck, they can't reunite, then they have to go confront the trap, they don't know what to do, someone goes back, searches the corpses again, and finds a big metal pin. The metal pin can be inserted into one trap and be disabled. This gap is real, so they were passing the pin back and forth. Right? Or wait, then one person at the end of the puzzle gets stuck. So you guys can imagine if, this is the way to visualize the puzzle. Wherever the green dice is, that plate will not pop. So if you have two characters here, he gets across safely, he gets across safely. So at the end, you've got these characters, only one of them is going to get across safely because he can't pass the pin afterwards. So what it does is it forces a who's gonna go be the last man across the river situation. So we chose the rogue. So if you see, the safeguard stays there. Now the rogue has a live trap. Whoa, avalanche. So now the rogue has a live trap and he just has to make a crazy dex check to hop across. He barely makes it with his life. And the group is now split into two. They have two exits and we're done. So it was a nice, fast, sort of lightweight room where the group just kicked ass, had a good time, but had a lot of sort of fear and hesitation, which is magic in Dungeons and Dragons. If your players are like, oh my god, what devious thing is this gonna be? Well, that's it. That was the guard trap. The players will now descend into the Tomb of War, which is coming up next. So hey guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, strength, honor, and room design. Peace.